guys, thanks for tuning in. Good morning to you people who are tuned in the morning. It's morning here. I'm Paul at Paul Phillips Fix. We got a 2008 Chevy Impala. I'm going to be doing rear brakes and rotors on it today. I have done front brakes, no, I didn't do the brake pads, but the directions on how to do it is in there. Front rotors, CV axles, and springs on the strut, how to remove the springs from the strut type suspension. If you want to see those videos, they're on the channel. Just look up the channel and go to videos and you'll see them in the content. During this video, I'm going to show you some of the tools I use. I'm going to be posting links for those tools in the video description. If you buy from there, you will help support the channel. You're not paying more, but being that it's purchased from that link, they give me like, well, it'll go to Wendy. I think it's like 2% or 5% of the regular price. So I'd appreciate that, guys. And also give a like and subscribe. Thank you. This car is old. It's got a little rust from New York. They like road salt here. So I jacked it on the pinch weld, and I went to put the jack stand there, and it didn't sound too good because corrosion is starting to take place. So let me show you where I jacked it. I'm going to flip you over here. I got a light on. Going right underneath. This is a pinch weld that runs along the bottom here. You can see there's some rust. It was okay to jack it, but when I put the jack stand on it, it kind of got crunchy a little bit. So I didn't want to put the jack stand there. Instead, I put it on the box frame. Do not put it on the floor or anything, or these little rails here, little bends. You will screw your floor up, for lack of a vulgar word. So jack it either on the box frame, or if you have no corrosion, then you can put your jack stand on the pinch weld. So just something to keep in mind. Never ever work on a car that's just on a jack. I don't care what kind of jack you have. Never trust a jack. You could get mangled up very badly or even killed. So especially if you're going under the car. So I always use a jack stand. I'll put a link for this. Like I said, the air jack, great tool. That's a 3-bag. They have them in 2-bag. Make sure you get a 3-bag. It lifts higher, and I jacked in the same place on the other side of the car. So I'm going to go ahead and take the wheels off. I believe it's a 17 mil, if I recall correctly. I could be wrong. No, it's a 19. I think it's a 19 mil. 19. I love these tools. These are from Astro Pneumatic Tools. There's a guy that has South Main Auto channel, very popular YouTuber. He's a professional. He's a professional who works continually on cars, and he depends on good quality tools with reliability, and he uses Astro Pneumatic tools, so they're not junk, guys. Oh, one thing before I forget. Whenever you work on your brakes, be sure after you are done to pump the pedal up, because you'll have no brakes when you start the car. So you'll wind up putting it in gear and not be able to stop after you open the caliper up. So remember, after you complete the job, pump your brakes up, guys. Always, every time. Anytime you depress those calipers, you have to do that. I'm going to go take the other wheel off. GoPro stuff. Oh, there was something I wanted to show you guys, because I wanted to make it like Hollywood Productions with nice lighting and everything. I picked up an LED floodlight. I believe that's a 50 watt, but make sure you get 110 volts if you're in the US. They're cheap on AliExpress. I bought that, and I bought, I believe, a 10 or 15 foot extension cord from Amazon. I should have made the video of me soldering that together, but I used marine grade shrink wrap with watertight sealant on it. So great work light, much cheaper than buying them from the stores with some bullshit name brand on them. So you're gonna need a screwdriver. Gonna get in here by your rotor. If you can get a bite in there, I'll be able to get a bite in there somewhere. And just pry that open. Hope I can get a bite on it somewhere. Not getting a bite out there. I'm gonna try a bite on the frame. Show you where I'm prying. I'm on the outer edge of the caliper. I'm trying to pry there. See if I can start spreading them. You don't want to pry on the piston. Usually I'm able to catch the edge of the rotor and pry, but this is right to the edge of the rotor. There we go. Let me try getting a smaller screwdriver. Too big. There, I'm getting behind the other shoe and prying. I mean the other pad. Give it a little pry. That should be enough to get it off. I have a compressor for the calipers. Come in handy. I believe that might be a 13 mil. Let's see if these are 13 mil. Fronts are 13s. Backs are bigger. They're a 14 or a 15. I think they're a 14. Yep, 14 mil. I should get my Astro Nano for this, but instead, how you doing? I'm gonna try my Husky air ratchet. These are at Home Depot. I'll put a link on there too for these. Great tool. It's an impact reactionless ratchet. I love it. It's got about 50 pounds of torque, I believe. I'm also going to go get a pair of my Harbor Freight 9 mil work gloves. Nitrile gloves are 9 mil. They're nice and thick. Cheap ones keep ripping on me.
I have big man hands.
So I don't know if this matters much, but there is a difference in these pins. The top one has a black ring on it. So I'm going to see if the other one is the same exact way, but make sure you take note of that. So the top has that little black plastic ring on it, okay? GoPro, stop recording. So guys, one thing to be mindful of, these little rubber boots, when you're removing and reinstalling the caliper, be careful not to tear them. Inspect them to see if any of them are broken. If so, replace them. I'm going to try to rock this and see if I can get this off. Sometimes you can just remove the bottom pin and swing it up and get the pads out, but since I'm doing the rotors, I'm going to have to take the brake bracket off as well. So I'm going to remove the whole thing, okay? Get my screwdriver again. That didn't open up that much. These pads are toasted. they're frozen in there too. Ooh, shame on me. No pad left. Right down to the metal. Boy, we wore these all over. We got our money's worth out of these, huh? Look at that. Almost down to the steel. Slight bit of brake material still left on there. That's why they weren't squealing or anything. I'm going to remove this brake caliber bracket. I think that's a 15 mil. No, that might be a 14 mil as well. That might be a 13 mil. The bracket is a smaller size than the caliper return. Now that's surprising. Yep, those are a 13 mil. Should have got my impact swivel sockets. Got fancy here. I might be better off with the nano for manipulation in here. What a ratchet. What a ratchet. Could get that one. Almost, but no cigar. These are the same, top and bottom. I'm gonna get that bracket out and clean it with my file. Now, when you lubricate these, I use Permatex ceramic brake grease, brake lubricant. You put it behind these stainless steel hardware, not on them. You don't want to put it in the front where the pad connects, because being that it's gooey, dirt and debris will stick to it and jam them up. So what you want to do is put it behind the stainless steel hardware to stop corrosion and rust jacking. When it rusts, it starts to swell and seizes up the brake pad. Okay, I'll show you the file I have that's great for doing brake parts. I believe this is a 30 mil Torx. Those do not need to be on crazy tight, just snug it on. The wheel will hold it on. The rotor cannot come off even if that comes loose. So let me go get my Torx tip. I'm sorry, I misspoke. It's not a 30 mil Torx, it's a T30 Torx. Sorry about that, guys. Only got like a walnut, crusty little walnut in my head. No brain cell left. No brain cells. I like to put Never Seize on these. Actually, I put Never Seize on all of the hardware. When you lubricate the pins, make sure you use high temperature brake lubricant. Do not put regular grease or Never Seize or anything on the pins. The heat will make it get crusty and seize up the caliper. My parking brake is adjusted fine. My parking brake shoes are good. I'm not going to be doing anything with them today. I went with Evolution coated power stop rotors for here. Those are power stop as well. They're drilled and slotted. I really didn't need to change these because they're not pulsating, but I put a brand new pair of heavy duty fleet duty front rotors on, and I want everything to be nice and smooth all across on this car now. So, oh look, white rotors. I've never seen that before. Not white. No, it looked white. It was a reflection of the light. So what I will do here is I'll put a small amount of Never Seize on the face of the hub here so no corrosion forms. and that rotor won't stick to that hub. GoPro, stop recording. All right, guys, I put Permatex Anti-Seize aluminum never seize on there, just the light coating. I put some on the lug studs as well. Make sure you do not get any of this on the parking brake, inside drum, or on the rotor. Make sure you line it up where you can get that T30 Torx in there. Gonna replace that. Then we're gonna clean that brake caliper and bracket up. I prefer the copper never seize. I just like it better. It's my preference. Costs a little bit more. I actually believe it holds up a little better. But I have this aluminum never seize and I'm going to use it up. I'm putting some on that little screw. I'm starting that by hand before I go putting it on with a tool. You don't want to cross thread anything. All right, I got a few threads in there. You don't have to go crazy tightening this. Just snug it up a little bit. I'm also going to put a little slather of never seize on here so my wheel does not stick to that. So I don't think you need to watch this, so I'm going to stop the video. GoPro, stop recording. I'm sorry, guys, I didn't give you the part number for the rotor, this brand rotor. I love this Power Stop company with their brake rotors and pads. These are Evolution coated. The part number is AR82111 EVC. That's AR82111 EVC. I got these from Rock Auto. I like them. It's hard to beat them on their prices. Their customer services have gone down a toilet a little bit, but most of the times they give me the right parts. These are Top Cop Z37 ceramic pads. Let me give you the part number for this. It is Z37698. Z37698 Extreme Carbon Fiber brake pads. Carbon fiber, not ceramic. I'm sorry.
Those are carbon fiber, pal.
They gave me new hardware. Lovely. I like to replace my hardware. It's one thing I like about Power Stop. This is a great file, Mueller Coupes from Germany. You don't want to just use a wire brush on this. All you do is polish the rust. You want to use a file and get that down in the metal, because you'll have that rust jacking and those pads will just seize up in there. So file is the way to go. I'll show you what I put on after I file them clean. I'm resting it on the floor, just hitting it with the file. I don't think you guys need direction on how to file something. Let me aim the camera down there. Some people go grinding a little bit off of the tab of the pad. That is not good, because then the pad is not coated. It rust jacks and seizes up again. So you don't want rust jacking. Get that little lip tab on the side as well. Want to get the sides as well. This is the thorough brake job. The way to do it, guys. A lot of these garages don't go through the extra time and effort to clean them up properly. They just slam it back together and don't give a shit if your brakes hang up. It'll be next time you'll be there that much quicker to see them. Inspect your little boots. Make sure there's no punctures or tears. There are not on here. So I'm gonna go ahead and throw that back in there. GoPro, stop recording. So some people may frown upon this. I put never seize on the brake bracket bolts. My personal preference. I'm not telling you what to do on your car. I've always done it on all of the vehicles I work on, and never once have I had an issue with anything coming loose. No, just the way I do it, guys. I like it not to be frozen on there the next time I got to work on it. Hitting it with the ratchet, giving a little snug. Do not have to go psycho with these bolts. Now I'm going to put a small amount of Permatex, my favorite brand, Permatex Extreme Ceramics Extreme Brake Parts Lubricant. If I get any of this on the rotor, I will clean it up. I'm going to try not to. Less crap to clean up later. Little dab on each one. Could have did this before I put the bracket on, but I didn't. Afterthought. I'm getting some on the rotor. I will spin it around and clean it off. Get that on each ear of that tab. Spin that rotor around and get that crap off there. Making sure nothing got on the back. Now your new hardware. Helps if you put it on the right way. Again, no lubricant on the inside of the hardware. Just want to stop that rust jacking behind it. Okay? And then your pads. Look at that. They even give you some brake parts lubricant in there. Isn't that nice? That's good if you don't have a bottle of your own. I like Power Stop. They're great. You're going to put a little bit on the back of the pad as well, not the face that contacts the rotor, but the other side, so it reduces brake noise on the where it contacts the caliper face and the piston on the caliper. You want a little lube there, so when they move a little bit, you don't get a squeak. These have pads on it that help reduce that. Got to get them in, push it down a little bit. Now I'm going to put a little bit of this lube on this side. Again, not where the pad contacts the hardware, just where the cup and the face of the caliper might ride. Okay? Be careful of those little boots when you're putting this back in. I'm gonna have to depress that piston. Let me go get my brake tool. GoPro, stop recording. Okay, guys. I don't like to go to AutoZone, but today I was desperate. No place else where I could get a rear caliper. That one's frozen. I checked the other side, it's not. I got a door last remanufactured brake caliper. It's 18B4644. 18B4644. That's from AutoZone. At least it has a lifetime warranty, but I'm really not a big fan of stuff they have, but pretty much a brake caliper is a brake caliper, you know? So I put the new bracket on. I got my pads in there. Now you're gonna need a 12 mil wrench to get the brake line off. You have two crush washers here. One has to go on each side of that line going into the brake caliper, okay? So get ready to put them on. I'm gonna have to use the brakes after doing this. I got a little pan here. I don't know how much brake fluid I'm gonna lose. I'm gonna lose some from gravity. I think I told you, I think it's a 12 mil socket. Is it 12? 11 mil. 11 mil. Or is it a 12 mil? This is an 11. Yeah, it's in a rusty 11. It's going on there tight. Make sure I get that on there. I don't want to round that head out. Let me get my file and clean that up a little bit. Oh, that might be from me clamping it. I might have mushroomed that head a little bit. Damn it, I knocked my pad out. Son of a bitch. I'm aggravated today. I wanted to get done with this like 1, 2, 3. This is not going like 1, 2, 3. Turning into a real pain in my ass. I didn't think it was going to get complicated. But working on older cars, very rare that shit goes very smooth. I will hit this rotor with brake clean when I'm done. Getting that damn never seize everywhere. See if I can get that socket on here now. Try not to get that all over your rotor. Do not get this brake fluid on your pads. Goes into them and ruins them. It will ruin your brake pads. One on one side, one on the other. Which side was to what? This side goes to the caliper, I believe. Let me figure out which way it goes, damn it. I got fucked up here. I'm trying to rush. When I rush, I take twice as long. I should know that already. What the hell did I do with that other brush washer? Oh well, I might edit this out so you guys don't see me acting like an asshole. Here it is. goes that way. There goes my other fucking pad into the brake fluid, but didn't get it bad. Pad off with brake cleaner. GoPro, stop recording. Okay guys, I cleaned those pads up with brake clean. Again, watch those rubber boots. If you have to replace your caliper, don't tear those boots, putting that back in there. And again, the pin with that rubber ring goes on the top and the regular one on the bottom. Start them by hand. You've got a bigger head on the pins than the other one. These are 14 mil. That's tight enough just from the impact of that ratchet. You don't have to go gorilla on these. Get the old pins, I guess. I'll give them the old pins. Now what's going to have to be done to this brake line here is it's going to have to be bled out because air got in the system. There's air in the line and this caliper is loaded with air. Okay. Now what's going to have to be done to this brake line here is it's going to have to be bled out because air got in the system. There's air in the line and this caliper is loaded with air, so you're going to have to crack this bleeder valve, pump up the pedal till it starts rising up, gets a little firmer, then hold it with pressure on it and have somebody open this bleeder valve over here. Fluid and air is going to shoot out. In the beginning, air is going to shoot out. Close it, let them lift the pedal up, pump it again, hold it, squeeze it, bleed the air out, close it, and do the same thing. It might take you 15-20 pumps. Check your brake fluid reservoir in the car. You don't want to go low to where you start sucking air in your whole system. That would be a pain in the ass and suck. So just be mindful of watching your brake fluid level while you're doing that, okay guys? All right, that's a brake job on an 08 Impala with complications. These things happen sometimes. So the other side is not going to give me this much drama. Brake clean on there. Yeah, make sure you clean them up. You don't want shit on those brakes when you put it together. All right, guys, that's a brake job. We're gonna do the other side, same as this, with less headaches because it's not frozen up. So we're gonna do that. GoPro, stop recording. All right, we on the other side, and I tried the impact ratchet, and that would not loosen this brake bracket. I don't think I can get in here with the Nano, guys. I cannot get in there with the Nano. Just doesn't make it. It did, it broke it free. Just made it in there. Not gonna get on the other side though, I don't think. Maybe not. Got it. So that's the Astro Pneumatic Onyx Nano. Great little tool. I'll show it to you in a second. Great little 3/8 drive. They have it in a 1/2-inch drive as well. Fantastic tool. Great for getting into tight spaces, as you just saw. Just taking the brake bracket off on this. I'm going to see if I could possibly finagle just getting those pads in there with the whole thing assembled. We'll see. Still have never seize on them. Just gonna hang this up out of the way for a minute. These weren't as toasted. Yeah, I'm gonna have to take the caliper off to get the hardware out. Caliper's gotta come out, guys, or else I can't get the hardware out of there. If you were just doing the rotors without doing the pads, if it had new pads on there, could have left it assembled, but not the case. Let me go get another socket. Caliper Bolts 14 mil. Again, be careful of your boots, don't tear them. Caliper Bolts 14 mil. Again, be careful of your boots, don't tear them. I just want to break this free because it's seized on it. I might have to put a bracket bolt back in to break that free. I just want it to be able to come apart. I don't like shit frozen together. Let me put one of those bracket bolts back in. Get my regular ratchet with the long handle. These are great 3/8 drive ratchets. They got the longer handle for that little bit of added leverage. There we go. Just need a little pop. And my socket's stuck on there. Little rubber ring seems to be missing off of that top pin. I'm going to switch out one of those other pins that I had. Put it on there. See that caliper? I can push it in the piston in with my fingers. That's how it's supposed to be. Yeah, I can actually push that in with my hands like that. Get my screwdriver that shoots right in there. Well, actually, I'll just take the bracket off. Knock it out. We got to clean this up and put the hardware in. Alright, same story, guys. I'm going to be cleaning up the corrosion with my file off of here. None of my boots are torn. They're in good shape. Be filing them out. Very rusty. Those pads were frozen on there. I don't think my rear brakes were grabbing at all, to be honest with you. That one caliper definitely wasn't doing anything. That thing was frozen solid. Take your time, clean these up nicely. It makes the brake job worth it. Brake pads will move nice and free in there this way. I'm sweating my ass off out here with this humid weather. It's killing me. It's been like a jungle lately. Yesterday morning was nice and cool. It was so great to go out on my motorcycle for a ride. I was able to actually enjoy it. I don't like getting on my motorcycle gear on my motorcycle without putting safety gear on. And I have leather stuff. I ordered a pair of summer pants that I'm waiting on, but I've been dying in the leather protective gear. Oh my God. Brutal. Alright, looks good from here. Now we're going to put brake lube there behind our hardware. My ice water full of ice. It's already melted. 10 minutes. I'm having a bad day, guys. Everybody's entitled to a bad day, right? Putting this on here first. I tried loading it and getting it on and I kept knocking them off. Oh, what the hell am I doing? I gotta get the fucking rotor off first. Told you I'm having an off day. Jumping ahead of myself, man. Let me go get my torque spit. Hub's not corroded. Gonna put a little anti-seize on there. GoPro, stop recording. I put that never seize on there. Keeps it from getting corroded, and the rotor will not get frozen to the wheel hub. Don't slather it on like a maniac. Just enough to glaze it. Line your little Torx hole up there. Put a little never seize on that. Start it by hand. Always start your fasteners by hand before using an impact or power tool. They will cross thread them quick. So make sure you're threading right. So always start them by hand. Can't stress that enough. Or too much. Do not have to go crazy tightening that. That is just for convenience. But when you were putting rotors pads on, the rotor's not slopping all over the place. That doesn't hold the rotor on per se, because the wheel holds the rotor on when they're on. Okay? It just holds it on while the wheel is off. If that made any sense. All right, brake bracket. Well, I got to remember to get that pin from the other rotor, because this one's missing that little plastic piece on there. And where the hell did my other bracket bolt go? Here it is. Hiding. It's hiding from me. It's a conspiracy. Big conspiracy. A little awkward working with this bigger hose. It's not as flexible as the smaller hose I had on, but it's giving me more air pressure to my tools. I have a 100-foot run of hose with a 3/8 hose. I wasn't getting full pressure here. Now with a 1/2-inch hose, I'm getting more oomph on my tools. I notice an improvement. Snuggling it up a little bit more than the impact does. Alright, time to load the pads. Wipe your hands or gloves off. You don't want to get that brake lube or that never seize on these pads. Nor brake fluid. It'll soak in there and destroy the pad. They'll be ruined. And again, you do not put that brake parts lubricant on the inside of the hardware where the pad goes, because that causes debris and dirt to get stuck there and actually make them run less efficient. Okay? That's my reasoning behind that. Most of the times my brakes are not frozen when I do them. I was surprised to find that today, guys. I really was. I was really surprised at that. So that kind of shocked me. Because when I do a brake job, I usually do a thorough brake job. Now we're going to put some of the ceramic brake part lubricant. Oh, first let me get that pin. Let me replace that pin. I don't like the way that pin doesn't have that plastic sleeve on it. Let me get the one that has a plastic sleeve. Alright guys, the pins on this looked pretty dirty. The rubber ring was gone on the top one. So I'm switching them out from my caliper from the other side, because those springs, those pins seem to be in better condition. We're going to do a swap. Only the best for Jewel. I got to put now, I'm putting this brake lube on the cup of the piston and on the face here where it contacts the brake pad. That will reduce squealing or squeaking sounds. If you get any vibration while you're braking. Be careful not to tear your boots or screw them up while you're putting this back on. Depress them. Get it in place. It's easy to break those boots. You need them. Water will get in there into the pin and corrode it. And then your caliper will not freely float. These are floating calipers. They move around. They just slide on there. Let me go switch that other pin out, guys. I'll be right back. If I can get my socket off of here. GoPro, stop recording. I put a little of that ceramic brake lube on here. Do not go psycho with it. You don't need a ton. And just tighten them up. Then that's a brake job, guys. It's that simple. That's how it's supposed to be. The other side gave me a hard time. I just got to tighten these up, bleed the other side, and then I'm done. GoPro, stop recording. Okay, Wendy, you can start pumping the brake pedal up. Okay. See if it starts coming up. Let me know when it starts getting a little firm.
Yeah, it's getting firm already.
Okay. All right, I'm going to have you hold the brakes on.
Okay.
Okay, pump it up again.
Okay.
Every time she's pumping it up, when it gets hard, I'm cracking this 10mm bleeder valve here.
Okay.
Okay, pump her up again.
Okay.
Okay, pump it up again. Now I'm tapping on this in case there's any air bubbles stuck to the side of the caliper. They'll dislodge and come to the top here. You holding it?
Yep.
Okay, one more time. Ready?
Okay.
I'm gonna do one more. I don't want any air in the brakes.
Okay.
One more time, pump it up.
Okay.
Okay. All right, that looks good to me.
Want to pump it up again or no?
Yes. Hold it, hold it. Just hold it down.
Hold it down?
All right, pump it up again.
Okay.
I didn't close this all the way.
Oh, sorry.
Gotta bleed it one more time. No, that was me. Hold it. You're pushing down?
Okay.
Okay. Just wait a second. Okay, now you can pump it up.
All right.
And that is done. The brakes are bled. Brand new pads. Now what you need to do after you put new pads and rotors on a car, you have to seat them. How you're going to do that is you get your car up to about 40-50 miles an hour. Make 4 or 5 aggressive braking things to get you down to about 5 or 10 miles an hour. Repeat that about 5 times. Do not stop and let the brakes cool down. Then you're going to drive a little bit and then do a couple of stops, like 4 stops. Then you can drive around, let the brakes cool down, and you're done. What that does is it embeds some of the brake pad material in the rotor and vice versa. It conditions your brakes and you'll have better brakes. They'll last longer. Okay guys, thanks for watching. I would greatly appreciate it if you give a like and subscribe. And a thank you to Wendy. Wendy's the helper. She does a lot behind the scenes for this channel here. And I was hoping you guys would do something for her by buying tools from the links I provide in the video description. Good tools, Astro Pneumatic, all these things I have are not junk. I don't get paid to promote them. If I did receive free tools from some company, if it was crap, I would call it crap. I'm not going to sell out like that. So you got my word. These are worth their money, and they save me a ton of time, man. So take good care of your cars, they'll take good care of you. Take good care of your tools, they should last you a lifetime. And most important, take good care of your family and the ones you love. Stay safe out there. Goodbye, guys, and don't be brain dead like me. Out. GoPro, stop recording. So through the magic of video editing, I'm going to put this somewhere in the video. This was an afterthought, but it's very important. These garages go nuts with these impact guns on these wheels, and they over tighten them. That is dangerous as a loose lug nut. You can overstress a lug and cause it to snap. It's just not good. Either it warps the rotors. So torque your lug nuts. If you're using an impact gun, you can buy torque sticks. This is a 100 foot-pound torque stick. I don't like to go so crazy on mine. I think that's what this calls for, 105. Never had them come loose. So look up the spec on your car and torque them to spec. How a torque stick works is that I can keep hammering this with the impact gun, and the flex in the steel will only let it tighten to 100 foot-pounds of tightness. Great time saver. Good for consistency. Torque sticks are fantastic. I was so happy when I found out about these. I've got a few of them. So I'll put a link for them in the tool description as well. Different rates. Ooh my. Angry torque wrench. That's it. Torque to spec, guys. To Paulie's spec. You guys have a great day. Stay safe. And I feel bad for those people down in Louisiana. They're screwed, man. Time to move if you can afford to do it from down there. I'd be out of there if I had the money to get the hell out of there. So maybe you want to say a prayer for them. That's it. Bye-bye. GoPro, stop recording.